Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go. Magandang umaga, ako si Jean Ray Henderson at ito ang Caritas News on the Go. Noong July 27, 2022, nasalanta po ng isang malakas na lindol ang Northwestern Luzon. Nandito ang ating National Director Bishop Jose Colin Bagaforo para sa kanyang mensahe para sa atin.
Isang malakas na lindol ang naranasan ng ating mga kababayan nitong July 27, 2022. Marami ang naapektuhan sa Northwestern Luzon, gaya ng Ilocos Provinces, Abra, Tabuk-Kalinga at Mountain Province. Kailangan nila ang ating tulong. Ang Team Caritas Philippines kasama ng mga social action centers natin sa mga apektadong lugar ay patuloy ang rapid assessment at initial emergency responses. Maaari po tayong tumulong. Ipadala lamang ang inyong mga donasyon sa ating bank account at GCash accounts ng Caritas Philippines. Ipagpatuloy po natin ang ating pagmamalasakit, pagbabahagi at pag-aalay kapwa. Gabayan tayo nawa ng ating Panginoon.
Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.
Simula 2016, mahigit 500 social action workers na ang nabigyan ng Caritas Philippines Academy ng iba't ibang capacity development program. Katulong ang Development Academy of the Philippines at Future by Design Pilipinas. Nagawa natin ang 14-month certificate course na Lead to Heal Transformational Development Program. Sa pakikipag-partner natin sa Asian Social Institute, nagkaroon tayo ng Masteral Course on Social Services and Development. Mahigit 15 modular courses din ang naisagawa natin kahit sa gitna ng COVID-19 pandemic. At Caritas Philippines Academy, we develop church leaders and professionals with a heart.
Pilipinas ay isa sa mga bansang nakakaranas ng iba't ibang kalamidad. Sa loob ng isang taon ay meron tayong humigit kumulang sa 20 bagyo na dumadaan sa ating bansa. Madalas ding mayroong pagguho ng lupa, malawakang baha, lindol, sunog at iba pa. Sa kasalukuyan ay mas pinalala pa ito dahil sa pandemya. Isa sa mga gawain ng Caritas Philippines ay ang pangunahan ang pagtugon ng mga pangangailangan ng naapektuhang kalamidad ng iba't ibang humanitarian crisis. Ang Caritas ay nagbibigay ayuda sa pamamagitan ng emergency relief assistance. Bukod sa emergency relief, nagbibigay rin tayo ng ayuda para sa early recovery ng mga komunidad na naapektuhan tulad ng pagbibigay ng pabahay at kabuhayan, kasama din dito ang iba't ibang capacity building and community organizing upang maihanda ang mga diocese at komunidad. Tayong lahat ay magkaisa, mag-alay kapwa para sa alay sa katugunan sa kalamidad.
Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go. Dito pa rin tayo po sa Tagaytay at kasama natin ang mga Social Action Center Directors natin na kasama sa Executive Training Course ng Caritas Philippines Academy para sa Social Action Center Management. At isa sa mga participant natin or isa sa mga enrollees natin sa kurso ay walang iba kundi ang Ecology Ministry Head ng Diocese of Tandag, Father Raymond Ambray. Magandang umaga, Father.
Magandang umaga naman po, Ma'am Jing.
Pads, welcome sa Tagaytay, syempre, at welcome to Caritas Philippines family, Caritas family.
Yes.
This is the first time that we are seeing you. Ano yung sa several days na magkakasama na tayo po dito at saka doon sa mga topics na pinag-uusapan sa kurso. So far, ano yung pinaka ano sa inyo, malakas ang dating?
Mahalaga sa akin na nakikita ko na our job is so huge. Is job of the ecology minister is not only to protect the environment but also to ensure the food security of the people and the next generation to be able to enjoy the gift of nature and environment. So while we have the huge task ahead or ministry, we need somehow to manage our work well. So this is the kind of training that I need so much, because in this way we will be equipped in handling with people, raising funds, and managing the apostolate. We cannot do it only with our enthusiasm and spirit. We need to have a science about running things or organizing everything, because the work deserves that much.
The work deserves that much dahil the poor deserves the best from us, sabi po ni Cardinal Tagle. Father, doon since na nasa ecology ministry ka po, ano yung mga ecology concerns sa Diocese of Tandag?
Well, if you look at our region, we are called the mining capital of the Philippines.
Yes.
And Surigao del Sur, we have mining concessionaires, and we are towards the tip of Mindanao, the northeastern part of Mindanao. And nasa harap kami ng Pacific. At ito ngayon yung palatandaan that when you're facing the Pacific, we are vulnerable to typhoons and earthquakes and tidal waves. And the mining industry, although it is approved by law, but it is doing a very harmful effect on the people, the food security, and even the landscape of our province. So these are the things that I am dealing right now, to be able to monitor the mining operation, to ensure that the watershed areas are protected, so as the water commodity be ensured on the people, and to protect the farmers in their productivity. So these are the things that as an ecological minister I am facing right now, and there will be more, because there are impending application for mining on coal, but it belongs to the energy sector, so it's another aspect, and there is the wanton denudation of our forest with a very poor monitoring system from the government agencies. So this is
That's the reality
Yeah.
na kinakaharap po ninyo. Pero Father, kumusta naman yung support sa iyo, yung campaigns ninyo, yung mga ginagawa po ninyo ngayon ng bishop ninyo po at pagkatapos nung inyong clergy?
The bishop is 101 very supportive, 100% very supportive to this kind of ministry. And he told the clergy and the people of our diocese that it is an imperative for us. The work for the environment is an imperative for us. Therefore, it's not optional. We should dedicate all our efforts, our resources to be able to preserve nature for the next generation, or to be able to become good stewards in protecting the integrity of creation. So, yes, I may say there is that support, but if we talk about people are getting convinced, that is still a process. Because although the issue of the environment is we are already in a climate emergency, there are still a few people who are convinced about it. So there's a lot of information, education campaign
That we need to do.
this. Yes, among the young and the middle-aged and the old, because the campaign, as Pope Francis would say, it's for the common home. It's not only for one sector of the society, but it's for all of us. We have only one home. So in this aspect, there is enough support from my bishop and the clergy, but we have to own it.
Yes, correct. Tama. Father, nitong mga nakaraang araw during the executive training course that we're having, nalaman namin po na you're not only defending the rights of nature, but also you're defending the rights of our LGBTQ community. Papaano pong napunta yun sa'yo? Papaano naging advocacy meet din yun? Or was it an office in the diocese?
It's a new office being created by our bishop in order to cater to all the sectors of our society who are oppressed. We have already any kind of apostolate that would cater to PWDs, to the senior citizens, and OFWs and whatnot. But nobody talks about LGBTQ who are in our midst, who are very productive and creative, and even vital in the church activities. So in that way, we have to level up. If we have to be sincere in our work, everyone should be accounted. And in my background as an anthropologist, I see to it that my bishop would make an office, not only just a partnership with the LGBTQ community, but really focus on them.
So may mga programs for them? Or how do you involve them?
My initial program right now is to convince the clergy about this, because I would be putting up in every parish this is LGBTQ office. In a way, the parish priest will be the one to head, but let's start with the clergy, because not all of them are convinced about this yet. There are so many clerics who are homophobic, and we have to talk to make them understand who are this LGBT community, and by understanding, they would be able to take appropriate actions on
And
them.
also appreciate
Yes.
the people,
Recognize and appreciate.
the persons behind the
Yes. Sometimes these people suffer at the background, the stigma, the discrimination, and as people of God,
May
they are-
personal bang pinagdadaanan? Bakit gusto mo silang ipagtanggol? Bakit gusto mong may programa ang simbahan?
yung sinabi ko kanina na my bias is towards humanity in my background as anthropologist. So no one should be left behind, as you say.
Yes.
I really work my line of work really is on the IPs and even the poor farmers. But if we want to be integral about our work, so everyone should be accounted. Of course, personally, I have met LGBT community in my department and even in the parish. They are very productive members of our community, and yet they are always sidelined because they are gays
Especially in the church.
in the church. So why not recognize them as just another gender, just a unique gender, and
Unique individuals.
yeah, they are also loved by God.
Tama talaga. And we know for a fact na the church now, especially with Pope Francis, is really trying to open its doors, her doors, para to everybody, to be more inclusive, and especially to the LGBTQ community. And maraming salamat, Father, for taking the initial steps, if not the baby steps, para here in the Philippines, sa ating simbahan, ay magkaroon din ng ganun kabukas na pag-unawa, pagtanggap, at saka paggalang, pagrespeto sa ating mga kasama sa LGBTQ community. Father, ano po yung sa inyong mensahe para sa ating mga kababayan ngayon? Especially now, we just had the earthquake sa Northern Luzon.
Sa mga kababayan natin na nasalanta ng lindol na ito at napakalakas, ay ako'y nakikiisa, nakikidalamhati in your suffering. And in times like this, there is no question as to our affiliation. We need to help. Everybody is our brother or sister, and we need most help, especially those who are suffering. I'm glad that when this happened, I'm here because I feel the sincerity of this Caritas institution, that there is this readiness to help, and there is this capacity to help, and even the know-how in this operation. So let us continue to hold on and not to lose hope in this trying moment, because help is on the way and God will never abandon us.
Maraming salamat, Father Raymond Ambray, sa pagkakataon na binigay mo po sa amin, and we are hoping to have you again, especially kapag may mga madami ka ng programa on ecology and on LGBTQ para ma-share natin sa ating mga tagapanood. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Deb.
And regards po sa inyong obispo. Maraming salamat. Nakasama po natin Father Raymond Ambray ng Diocese of Tandag, ang ating pong Ecology Ministry Head sa Diocese. Ito po ang Caritas News on the Go. Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.
Pangarap ko po ang maging sundalo paglaki ko para matulungan ko po ang mga pamilya ko.
Isa lamang si John Mark sa 502 na batang academically challenged na natutulungan natin sa Alay sa Kabataan Educational Assistance Program ng Caritas Philippines.
Liban sa suporta sa kanilang tuition fees, binibigyan din natin ang ating scholars ng allowance para sa school supplies, wifi load at pamasahe.
Ngunit bakit nga ba kakaiba at natatangi ang ating Alay sa Kabataan program?
Itong programa ng Caritas Philippines ay napakaganda dahil nga tinutulungan yung mga slow learners natin, dahil karamihan yung mga pribileyo ay naibibigay sa mga matatalino, sa mga magagaling at sa mga bright students natin.
Ang ganda. Kasi kadalasan yung pag marinig natin scholar, 85 pataas yung yung grade. Pero dito sa program na Caritas Philippines, yung 80 below.
Pangarap nating makapagtapos ang bawat batang Pilipino, kaya't ipagpatuloy natin ang ating pagmamalasakit, pagbabahagi at pag-aalay kapwa.
Bagyo, lindol, volcanic eruption, pagbaha at iba pang mga delubyo at kalamidad. Ilan lamang ito sa mga hirap na kinakaharap natin dala ng climate emergency at planetary crisis. O marahil, dala ng ating kapabayaan. Dahil pinayagan natin ang walang puknat na pagmimina, illegal logging at quarrying, coal at fossil fuel operations. Sinira natin ang karagatan dahil sa basura at illegal fishing. Maging ang ating coral reef ay namamatay na rin. Subalit may pag-asa pa kung tayo ay magtutulungan. Ipagtanggol natin ang karapatan ng kalikasan. Ipaglaban natin ang ating nag-iisang tahanan. Samahan ninyo kami sa Caritas Philippines sa ating pag-aalay sa kalikasan.
Sa patuloy ninyong pagmamalasakit, pagbabahagi at pag-alay kapwa, may napakain tayong 1,757 individuals na nanggagaling sa 300 families from Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Ang pamilya program ay hindi lang po natin bubusugin ang tiyan ng ating mga tinutulungan, mga pamilya, kung hindi bubusugin din natin ang kanilang isip at puso. Dahil sa pamilya feeding program, ang mga kapamilya na tinutulungan natin ay lumalalim ang kanilang pananampalataya, pakipag-ugnayan sa kapwa at pagmamalasakit sa lipunan. Nang dahil sa inyo, ang mga kapwa natin ay nabusog, nabigyan ng pag-asa at may maliwanag na bukas. Through pamilya programs, stomachs are fed, hearts are full, souls are nourished. Taos-puso kaming nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng mga kapamilya natin na nagmalasakit, nagbahagi at nag-alay kapwa.
Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.
Nagbabalik po ang Caritas News on the Go at ngayon naman kasama natin walang iba kundi ang Social Action Center Director ng Caritas Catarman, Father Fred Placa. Magandang umaga, Father. Kumusta po?
Yes, magandang umaga, Ma'am Jing, and to the members of the Caritas, and to Father Tony and Bishop Colin. Good morning po sa inyo lahat.
Good morning din po sa Bishop ninyo.
Yes, opo.
Kay Bishop Emmanuel Trance. Yes, opo. Oh, Father, speaking of Bishop Emmanuel Trance, kasi katatapos lang nung ating synodal process, di ba po? Kumusta yung naging resulta nung synod, especially tungkol sa social action?
Yes, synod ng discussion on the synod, si Bishop Francis has disseminated the information, the result of the synod, and he has given some highlights of the synod, of the meeting of the bishops. In fact, after the CBCP, we had our presbyteral meeting just last week. And the first part of our meeting was the result of the consultations made by every diocese throughout the Philippines.
Ano yung sinasabi po ng synod ninyo tungkol sa social action?
Yung i-highlight doon is yung continued implementation of the programs of the social action, and we are so thankful to NASA Caritas Philippines for continually accompanying us in this journey sa pamagitan ng mga support na ibinibigay ng Caritas Philippines to the Diocese of Catarman. And particularly on the implementation on the projects on ecology, on good governance, and peace and order. Those are the concerns that we are trying to respond every now and then, especially nung meron kaming mga gatherings on the social action ministry.
Nabanggit na din naman ninyo, Father, yung tatlo na major concerns po ninyo. Unahin natin, ecology. Ano yung concern ngayon ng Caritas Catarman or the whole of the diocese po with regards to our care for the environment?
Yes, firstly, we have this ongoing advocacy on ecology, particularly on the Laudato Si. We have started giving symposiums in the schools, in the communities, promoting Laudato Si, the care for creation. And then secondly, we are trying to establish a ecological ministry in the diocese because as of now, it is not yet realized. Although we have been giving or implementing projects, but in terms of sustainability, in terms of how to really strengthen the project is not yet, that's the lacking component of our implementation of ecology.
Father, ano yung mga challenges sa inyo ngayon ng mga issues? Kasi 'di ba yung ibang mga diocese natin like sa inyo sa Samar Leyte area, madami may mining, may coal. Sa Catarman ba, are you experiencing the same or may iba kayong challenge?
Yung challenge ngayon sa Catarman is more on illegal logging. And then yung too much extraction of gravel and sand. Although ginagamit yan sa mga projects, even sa simbahan na kailangan tayo, but sometimes hindi na regulate yung paano to ini-implement ng government. Yun ang dalawang challenge ngayon in the Diocese of Catarman. Some logging para sa kanila na hindi na mag-illegal logging. Yun ang isang dapat nating pag-isipan in the social action ministry in terms of ecology. And secondly, on extraction of gravel and sand, we are trying to still coordinate it with the provincial government on what is the measure that they are implementing in terms of regulation on these natural resources.
Oo. O kasi napaka-importante talaga that we are able to regulate or at least assist sa local government unit natin on finding ways para ma-regulate yung mga extractive activities na ginagawa natin po. Though sinasabi mo nga, natural resources ito pero may pagkakataon na mauubos din ng lahat ng ito kaya kinakailangang medyo controlled yung ating paggamit. Okay, that's for ecology. Father, good governance. Kumusta po kayo ngayon, especially after nung election, we went through the process of community discernment, di ba po? Pagkatapos, we ensured medyo nag-level up tayo doon sa voters empowerment programs natin. Ano yung resulta ng eleksyon na sa palagay po ninyo ngayon ay kinakailangan nating parang maging jumping board natin to continue with our good governance program?
first and foremost, yung effort natin in terms on good governance, particularly in the elections, parang nakita natin na we do not have enough resources, human resources particularly, especially in giving education to our voters. Parang hindi masyadong felt yung presence ng social action because of the limited resources we have. Although we have worked with the PPCRV, NAMFREL, coordinated with Lenti and other organizations mandated by the government, but again, kulang yung natin yung education drive, lalong-lalo na sa mga voters natin. And then secondly, again, the problem of poverty. Kahit nga anong gawin nating voters education, at the end, nawawala din because of vote buying during election. So nakakalimutan lahat talaga ng mga Christian principles pagdating na sa election, especially yung pangangailangan talaga ng tao. Kaya sometimes nakakalimutan natin yung mga Christian values, nagiging useless yung mga education because in the end, talagang yung pera talaga ang parang magiging mas kailangan ng mga tao.
Okay, so yun yung magiging, kumbaga, ipagpapatuloy ninyo ngayon,
Yes.
Father.
Opo, sana maggumawa talaga ng plano paano natin ma-educate yung mga tao, at then dapat yung education is year-round, hindi lang during election because mahuhuli talaga tayo, lalong-lalo na in terms sa ating mga resources, human and financial resources.
Very well said. Thank you, Father. Lastly, sinasabi po ninyo ay yung peace and order situation or condition po doon sa Diocese of Catarman. Kumusta po ito ngayon at ano yung ginagawa naman ninyo to respond to this concern?
Okay, in terms of peace and order in the Diocese of Catarman, we are facing right now a very challenging situations. Una is yung insurgency problems. Lagi natin narinig sa mga radyo, nakikita sa television, nababasa sa mga pahayagan that Northern Samar is always in the headlines, in terms of insurgency problem brought about by the New People's Army. Lagi nating narinig yung mga ambush, pagtatanim ng mga landmines na illegal, hindi makatao na pamaraan. Yun ang lagi nating ina-encounter na problem. And secondly, yung mga, of course, problem in the communities, mga abuses, violations. So ang ginagawa ng social action is, again, we are member of the provincial Peace and Order Council. We regularly attend this gathering. And secondly, the bishops are initiating a lot of projects, a lot of initiatives, especially the Samar Island Partnership for Peace and Development, or the CPAD, wherein being convened by the bishops of Catarman, with Bishop Manuel Trance of Borongan, with Bishop Crispin Barquez, and with Calbayog with Bishop Isabelo Barquez. We are convening regularly to talk about peace and development, and then we discuss all these things with the CPAD. This is a multi-sectoral group composed of the church, government, academy, civil society organizations, youth, and media. So we discuss problems, issues affecting the whole Samar Island, and one of that is the peace and order. And right now we are facing a problem wherein one of our priests in the Diocese of Catarman was tagged as member of was designated as one of the communists. And then we are working on this. We are trying to coordinate with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Philippine National Police, and other security forces that will help us at the same. And we are asking for their help, especially our petition for delisting his name from among the terrorists. So that's the problem that we are facing now, and together with our bishop and the clergy, we really try our best to coordinate and how the government could help us on this matter.
And we are praying also, Father, that everything will be okay
Yes.
sa diocese po ninyo, especially with this kind of challenge, because ito yung isa sa mga mahihirap na harapin sa ating diocese, and lalong-lalo na we are not only talking about yung the mere parang superficial na peace and order problem or situation ninyo, kundi talagang merong concern na kinakailangang sagutan. Father, you are doing or you are presently enrolled sa executive training course natin for Social Action Center Management.
Yes.
How does the training course or the training is it helping you in your situations in the diocese?
Yeah, this training is very much helpful to all of us, especially to the social action directors. I myself have been in the ministry for 12 years, and I think I really felt that there is still a need, for an ongoing formation. Although some of the topics I already encountered that because of the
yung mga previous
projects
trainings,
with Caritas Philippines, with Catholic Services, Relief Services. And this training is indeed a good refresher for all of us, and especially for me, as I go with the social action ministry, that again, this given me an opportunity again to gain more knowledge, at the same time to be able to share what I have in the social action ministry for the past 12 years.
Very good. Maraming salamat po, Father Fred Placa, ang ating Social Action Center Director sa Caritas Katarman, and we are hoping to have you more dito sa ating programa sa mga susunod na pagkakataon.
Yes po, thank you, Ma'am G.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Nakasama po natin Father Fred Placa ng Caritas Katarman. Ito ulit ang Caritas News on the Go. Ang Team Caritas nationwide ay nananawagan po sa inyong lahat para sa ating tulong sa mga nasa lanta ng lindol sa northwestern Luzon. Ang ating pong mga dioceses doon ay kasalukuyang nagsasagawa ng kanilang rapid needs assessment at para ma-evaluate kung ano ay mga urgent needs ng ating mga kababayan. Ang ating pong mga account numbers ng bank account at ang ating GCash account ay nandyan sa screen ng inyong mga Facebook pages, at hinihiling po natin na tayo ay makatulong, magpatuloy sa ating pagmamalasakit, pagbabahagi at pag-aalay kapwa. Ako po si Jing Ray Henderson at ito ang Caritas News on the Go. Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.
Dahil sa mataas na antas ng kahirapan sa Pilipinas, malaki ang suliranin sa kakulangan sa sapat na pagkain at kawalan ng sustainableng hanapbuhay. Hangad ng Caritas Philippines na matulungan ang iba't ibang sektor sa agrikultura upang mapataas ang produksyon at ani at maibenta ang produkto sa tamang halaga at merkado upang mapaunlad ang bawat pamilya at komunidad. Halina at sama-sama tayong maging bahagi ng pag-aalay para sa kabuhayan ng lahat ng nangangailangan at nasa kahirapan. Sapat na pagkain para sa kalusugan ng lahat at mayamang bukas.
Alay Kapwa para sa katarungan at kapayapaan ay ang kabuuan at layunin ng Episcopal Commission on Social Action, Justice and Peace. Ang layunin ng katarungan at kapayapaan ay tanggalin ang di makatarungang istruktura sa lipunan nakikita natin sa pamagitan ng paglabag sa dangal at karapatan ng mamamayan at kalikasan na nagdudulot ng kahirapan at paghihirap ng mga tao at nagpapatuloy ng di pagkapantay-pantay sa lipunan, kapangyarihan, pamahalaan at pakitungo sa kapwa. Bilang programa, kasama sa Alay para sa katarungan ang mabuting pamamahala o good governance, isang halagang parte para sa panlipunang katarungan or social justice. Ang diin ng programa ay upang itaguyod at ipatupad ang dignidad o dangal at karapatan ng mga tao sa pamamagitan ng pakikilahok sa pamamahala. At gusto din ng nito mag-ambag para sa pagbabago ng struktura, sistema na kaaya-aya o conducive para sa ikabubuti ng nakararami.
Bilang National Secretariat ng 85 Social Action Centers, inatasan ang Caritas Philippines na pamahalaan ang pondo para sa iba't ibang mga programa nito. Dahil dito, kinakailangan nating siguruhin na hindi lamang tama at napapanahon ang implementasyon ng ating mga programa. Kailangan din ang masinop at naayon sa widely acceptable financial management standards ang paggamit ng ating mga pondo. Dahil gusto namin kapag nagbigay kayo ng pondo sa Caritas Philippines, panatag ang loob ninyong napupunta sa tama at nagagamit sa wasto ang bawat sentimong inyong inaalay sa ating kapwa.
Mula sa Simbahan Katoliko at Caritas Philippines.
Mula sa 85 diocesan social action centers sa buong bansa at mula sa libu-libong mga komunidad at mga pamilyang Pilipino.
Ang aming taos-pusong pasasalamat sa inyong pag-aalay, kapwa.
Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.